I released my first game Dashpong in 2022, and here we are in August 2025 with no second game released. I want to share with you today what happened and also why I'm not making YouTube videos, and what's next for me as an indie game dev. Let's start with the games. I didn't do nothing since Dashpong, quite the opposite. I think the simplest explanation is that I tried to do too many things, and with time I started to doubt more and more. It's crazy how fast you can go into a vicious cycle. You spend too much time not working on a game, which makes you question your ability to release things. You want to make better games, and this creates even more doubts, which feeds your inability to take actions. To be honest, there are a lot of factors that made me not release things, and it would be hard to pinpoint what exactly happened. It's really the combination of trying too many things, courses, freelance, YouTube streaming, trying to get too fast, starting projects even if I'm not really sure where to go, and always trying to do too many things at once. This is a huge one in my opinion. By trying to juggle all the things, I ended up not focusing on anything, losing a lot of energy and not producing things. Energy is quite limited, and switching from one project to another is not easy. I would often end up trying to work on something for an hour and then move on to something completely different, only to be stuck thinking about the previous thing. The more I was doing that, the less energy I would have, and the more I felt bad because I was overworking myself. But for what? In the end, I didn't really have anything of value to show.
Hey, Mr. Elliptic from editing. I just realized that it was not necessarily super clear that I worked on lots of other things. Since Dashpong, I worked on lots of different games that some of them have a Steam page, some don't. I made a lot of game jams, I worked for some clients, I made a lot of videos. I also made a lot of videos and didn't post them, so they are still sitting on my hard drive, or some of them are started but not finished. And as time would go on, I would do that more and more. Initially I would do things and publish them, and then I started just starting projects and not finishing anything. So I don't want to go through all of the archives and show you. I'm just too lazy for that. But trust me, there's a lot of stuff. I've spent a lot of time and energy on many things that will never see the light of day, and for some of them it's a good thing because it's just not great. But yeah, this is why I spent so much time just working a lot without doing anything. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear.
Not focusing on games and making a bit of money from other sources such as YouTube, Twitch, courses, and freelance also meant that I was a bit dependent on those. It was a much greater risk to stop those things to work on a game than to survive with the small amount these were making. I talked about it more in depth in the discussion with Thomas on his channel. Don't hesitate to listen to it if you're interested. On top of that, my health started to degrade a bit. Don't worry too much, nothing life-threatening so far, knock on wood, but I just lost the willingness to take care of my health in general. I slowly stopped going to the gym, I would go out less, even for walks, and I had small health problems that I was not trying to fix. Mostly lots of headaches and gut issues. I didn't realize at the time how much it would impact my life and my work. I don't know why it took so long, but I now understand that being in pain practically every day, feeling tired constantly, is not normal, and obviously impacts my ability to focus and work. Don't get me wrong, it's not the only explanation, but it's a much bigger problem than I realized. To be completely honest, I was recently feeling pretty down, and looking at some online tests for burnout, I scored pretty high. Wow. Of course, I know I should take these with a grain of salt. It was just for me, again, a way to realize something I knew was happening. I was not feeling super great, and it has been a while. As I'm sharing all of that, I don't necessarily have a solution. I'm still dealing with those problems, and I would be lying if I was telling you I was doing everything I should. I think I know most of the things I should do, but often it's just hard and too much for me. I can't help it sometimes. I'm just avoiding the solutions and still doing the wrong things. I want to share this with you because I'm probably not the only one struggling. Life is not always easy, and the self-employment indie game route that I'm taking is definitely not the easiest so far. Honestly, it's been amazing in many ways, but also probably one of the hardest things I've done. Probably some of my worst times were as a solo dev. I hope it's not going to be just that though, and I still want to continue for as long as I can. So that was for the game and the health part. And I think you understand easily this also applies to YouTube. If you look at my upload schedule, if we can call it that, it's been pretty bad in the last month or even year. Of course, it's tied to what I said earlier, but there's also a second problem. I didn't really know what I wanted from this YouTube channel. I created it originally to share my journey as I was watching other devs and enjoying their content. Unfortunately, I had a pretty massively popular video early in my YouTube career, and this and other things kind of led me to try to chase views. Spoiler alert, it didn't work, and it made me feel quite bad. Game Dev is Hard is a video I made in like 1 day and a half, and it got 2.6 million views. This gave me an influx of subscribers that quite fast became dead subscribers, meaning they didn't really care about what I was doing and they were not engaging with the channel. Over time, I started to distance myself from the channel in a way. I was looking at YouTube content and how to make hit videos, etc. I was trying to be someone and do something that didn't really work for me. This was making me miserable in two ways. When I was trying with a concept and it wasn't working, I would feel bad for spending hours on a video instead of working on my game. And when I wanted to do other kinds of videos, I was often not allowing myself, as I wanted to avoid unpopular videos. In the end, it didn't work at all, and I just slowly stopped making videos. My goal was not to be a game dev YouTuber, but a game dev with a YouTube channel, if that makes sense. In parallel, I started streaming, and this was going great. Not for the numbers, but the community I was creating there. You think like it is a fart. It is a fart, yes. It is a fart. Sometimes it's nice, and you're surprised and it's actually a nice and punchy one. And sometimes it's actually a shart, and it's not pleasing at all. This is AI. You're right. AI is a fart. Live streaming is a very different beast, and if you only know me through these videos, you might be surprised to see me live. I'm very different. Some would say I'm funnier or more interesting. I think it's just that I'm more myself, and so I talk a lot about me, my struggles, and plenty of different subjects. I know YouTube is different, but I think I want to bring a bit of that into my videos. It took me a while, but I finally understood that chasing views would make me miserable, and what I was looking for was the community aspect. Maybe something similar to what Jonas Tyroller is doing, or Aramis, and plenty of other people. You watch them because you like the way they do stuff, what they share, and maybe their personalities, not just for the content and the concepts alone. Shifting from concept and chasing views to who I am and my journey will probably result in less views, but I think it will allow me to express myself more, making videos that I care about, and in the end provide something more interesting for everyone. This leads me to what's next. For YouTube, I want to explore this personal approach a bit more. More small videos, maybe sometimes just sharing some thoughts or things I've learned, discussing with the community and stuff. This channel should be more me. And my second channel, Mr. Teach, stays more structured and more about the content than myself. I can't promise anything, to be honest. I don't think I'm yet stable enough, but this is what I want. Now, in terms of games, my goal didn't really change. I still want to make games, and ideally, I want to make them small. That's because I think it's what indie devs can do the best. It's what I enjoy, even as a gamer, small and focused games, and I have a lot of ideas to explore. My time on Earth and as a game dev is limited, so if I want to explore different things, I need to keep them relatively small. Also, it's less of a financial risk, and yeah, it's just a vibe and I'm here for. I still don't know many things about myself as a dev, but I think this idea of small games resonates with me. I'm not sure I should talk about it publicly because of that early accomplishment feeling thingy. If you're not familiar with it, it's this idea that when you talk about something you're going to do, your brain kind of understands that as you doing it in a way. So you get some of the reward of that task or action before doing it, and it could prevent you from doing it. I think I also saw something like that for planning. Too much planning can satisfy you and you end up not wanting to do the task. I think I feel that way quite strongly, so I need to be careful. But anyway, I'm sharing with you my current projects as a way to be transparent and also force me to face the different things I'm doing, which might help me realize if it's too much or whatever. I'm still working on Hyperslice. I want to release it, and honestly, I'm not too far from the end. Just to remind you, it's an arena roguelite where you fight using only your dash. It's hard for me to commit to it for many reasons, and mostly because I don't see a lot of interest for it. People don't seem to care about it that much. It makes it difficult to justify working on it. It's too long to talk about it now, but I want to release it. A few months ago, I quickly worked on a word game prototype, a few weeks before GMTK announced his game Wordplay. This actually reassured me that there can be a public for this kind of games. I don't think I want to share what the game is right now, it's too early, but if you're interested, I share private builds on my Discord, link in the description below. This should be a relatively small game, and I think I can make it quite fast. Unfortunately, I didn't work on it enough yet. My goal was to release a demo during summer and participate in the October Next Fest. It's becoming harder and harder as time flies, and I'm worried it will be too much with the Hyperslice release. I also did a game jam where I made Hyper Cafe, a mix between a fast movement FPS and a coffee shop simulator. This idea is really silly and quite fun. My viewers said it has a lot of potential, and I shared it on the Godot subreddit and on Play My Game. People were very positive about it. The idea is that simulator games are super popular, but I find them boring. I just want something fun and fast. I like fast movement FPS, so I thought jumping everywhere, throwing coffees on clients would be fun. This project is cool because it's a bit stupid, and I feel like I could have a lot of fun doing it. I'm a bit worried about the 3D aspect and of the FPS community. I know FPS enjoyers can be quite demanding, and I worry the game would not reach the level of quality that they expect. Honestly, give it a try and let me know what you think. I have lots of ideas to extend it and make it even more stupid. I'm just unsure about what should be the gameplay loop. I was thinking roguelike, where each day you'd have to serve clients, buying upgrades to go faster, etc. Play it and let me know. The last active thing is Charon's Oboe, a psychological/cosmic horror game I made for GMTK with Woland. You can see some buckshot roulette inspirations, and lots of people compared it to Inscription. It's a game where you play coin flips against a mysterious opponent, and then weird stuff happens. We worked together on Strain for GMTK 2024 last year, and we really wanted to make another game together. I've been thinking about horror for a while. It's something I'm becoming more and more familiar with, and there's so much cool stuff there. We think this game has potential, and we're seriously thinking about taking it further. There are some things to clarify, but it's probably going to happen. Again, the game is available on itch, so don't hesitate. Try it, and let us know what you think. Two last things are in the work, but kinda paused. The first is my course about UI. I just didn't find the time and energy to finish it. So for now, it's on pause. And the second thing is Dashpong on the Switch. Dashpong on the Switch. That would be quite cool. I didn't announce it properly yet, so keep it a secret. This one is much closer to be finished. I submitted to LawCheck, which is the verification process where Nintendo tries your game before release, and unfortunately the last lot check found some problems and I didn't get the answers I needed, which led me to leave it on the side, and it's been months now. The process is incredibly painful and frustrating, so I really have a hard time doing it, especially since the rest of my life was not going amazingly. I want to finish it though. I'm pretty close to the end, and yeah, I just don't have the energy yet. As you can see, I'm a bit all over the place. I don't like just one genre, I like many things, and I want to explore many ideas. I often thought I would find what I truly love with time, but maybe this is me. Maybe I just like lots of different things, and I should just explore more. The main thing I need is to commit more and do more. To just release things. Not overwork myself, but do more in the sense of putting things out there and be less in my head. I might not trust myself enough, and I said it before, it just gets worse with time. The more I don't release stuff, the worse I feel. I'm not gonna lie, at the moment I feel like a fraud. I call myself a game dev, but I only have one game released. I know it's already an accomplishment, and I didn't do nothing in the past years, but I'm just not satisfied with the situation. Hopefully I'll be able to finally overcome all of that. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I've been through that many times before, It's not the first time I feel like I know what I should do. I've told myself, this time it's finally going to work, and inevitably just fall into the same traps as before. At least maybe this time I'll talk about it more here and it'll be interesting or entertaining for you. If you want to come with me on this journey, of course, subscribe here and maybe leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think about all of that. Maybe even share how you feel and what are your struggles. That can help. I already have another video in the work talking about a cool game I enjoyed in subtractive design, so don't forget to subscribe to see it. If you have the mean and you want to support me financially, I have my first game Dashpong on Steam, my course about juice, and my Patreon linked down below. Thank you for sticking this long. I'll catch you later. Bye.